Himmelkraft came to me, must have been 99 or 2000, and we were with Sonata Arctica visiting Tuska Festival in Helsinki, and I started joking around with German lyrics for a song, and then just from the top of my head mentioned that I'm gonna release this song under the name Himmelkraft. I don't know where that came, but it stuck. And some people have been asking about Himmelkraft and if I'm ever gonna release the album under the name Himmelkraft for a very long time. So it's like 25 years already. And so finally it's here, and I decided to stay with the name. It's a little bit weird maybe for some people, and but it stands out, and I love the fact how it is like two different elements there. One is very soft, Himmel, which is heaven or sky in German, and Kraft, which is power. And so I think that describes what Himmelkraft is about nicely, because it has a softer side and then this more rougher side. And I think in that sense, the name will start somehow swimming into the songs nicely, and people will start recognizing the style as a Himmelkraft style. It's very different from what Sonata Arctica, for example, is about, and I want to make a big difference between those two. And yeah, but you can probably still recognize the songwriter and singer definitely from Himmelkraft. Himmelkraft is made of people. It's they have had like more than 100 years to gather the group of people, the chosen ones, to live under the ground willingly, and hence they are battling a lot of the same problems as we are here on the ground, and allowing me to tell stories that are very humane and relatable in a way, with a touch of fantasy and mysticism and secrecy, which is something that the world currently is lacking of very much. And I enjoy observing what they do very much, and hopefully you do as well. Himmelkraft is full of technical facts, historically accurate events, the stories, and some people also like Clara Imewar, for example. And I had very little to do with a lot of the things that are happening in the stories if you are reading them. The song lyrics, those are mine, and the sort of inspiration and expanded versions of those lyrics, that's mine. But the writer Sonata Arctica, dear friend of mine, she expanded. She wrote all those stories and did a lot of research, and managed to sort of draw and write down the world of Himmelkraft in a way that I would never have been able to do. I'm really thankful for her help with Himmelkraft, and I hope to do that in the future as well. And I think what she did, it really helps me to bring the world of Himmelkraft alive, and the stories sort of allow at least me to think that the songs are inspired by the true stories instead of the other way around, that the stories are inspired by the songs. And I think that's a pretty amazing thing, and this whole thing got to be so much bigger story-wise than I had imagined. Of course I can imagine a lot, but still it turned out so much better than I could have imagined and hoped for. Well, choosing such an easy concept like a world, basically, it made it very easy to just write freely about just about anything that I could imagine happening in the world of Himmelkraft. And of course, you know, it's same as any other world, reality, parallel world, if you will, and it of course, you know, as such, it is very variety rich, and I'm trying to bring the whole spectrum of life in the songs, and like very technical stuff, like how they actually power their things and how they got nuclear power, for example, and handling emotions about war and love and such things. There are many sides to Himmelkraft. There are many sides to life and this planet Earth that we are living in. It's nothing more, nothing less. I've always been a big fan of dystopic stories where you have to isolate yourself from the environment or world somehow and live underground, for example, and like for example Fallout, the game series and TV series now, of course, and that's been a huge inspiration for me, visual aid, if you will, and I sort of took it from there and started creating the world of my own. And of course there's like a vast backstory, like history, how Himmelkraft came to be, but for that you have to go and read the stories and check the booklet of the album or the book or something. I don't want to spoil it here. It's a long story to tell anyway, and it will spoil your fun. It's much more when you read it yourself and create the imagery yourself and listen to the music. The people in Himmelkraft, they are blessed with an eye to see and behold this planet, this world, and the state of it from outside view in a way. They are not living here, so it's easier for them to see what is wrong. Instead of us boiling ourselves in a kettle like a pile of frogs and not noticing what is wrong and how things are developing in the wrong direction, they can see it more clearly. And we do not want to live like the people in Himmelkraft. Fundamentally, we do not, and hopefully such an doomsday locker kind of vault is not necessary one day for humanity. A place where a small fraction of all humans on this planet are blessed with a possibility to live and outlive those people on the surface, and one day re-inhabit the whole planet, because I don't see personally really living on another planet as a viable option right now anyways, for us humans to sort of move there and save the whole species and the whole planet by moving away, not in this meat sack of a body that we have. And so we just maybe have to look what we do and change our ways, and that's the sort of the core of the problem as well, because probably we are not going to do that, and we are what we are. You can't really help it, can you? Steampunk and diesel punk and whatever punks there are, and those have been a big part of the visual side of me imagining what Himmelkraft is like, and of course Fallout, the series, and the games and everything. And one might imagine that Silo, for example, the book or the series, one might imagine that that's been a big part of the creation of Himmelkraft somehow, or source of inspiration. But I actually found Silo only after Himmelkraft album was finished. The album was ready and everything, and I was pleasantly surprised to find Silo, and I loved it. It's a wonderful thing, and a lovely dystopic thing, and I probably can use that as a sort of visual aid and inspiration for the future Himmelkraft albums, if I am lucky enough to get to make some.